Welcome to another segment of Revelation Tells Us. The war has already been decided. This is going to kind of focus on, I'm going to call it the word of the day. It's going to be a short study that's going to get it right into the meat of the subject. But a little review, here we are in 2020 watching a host of problems unfold. Chicago basically did what they wanted to do. They chased out all the businesses in Chicago, and now they plan on replacing all the businesses with state-owned stores. A page right out of Korea, actually a page right out of Mein Kampf, what Hitler did in Germany. They're using different locations to test different theories to see how far and how much they can actually get away with. Their goal is to do away with the Constitution, so they're constantly testing it. Like in New Mexico, governor declared an emergency, and then she banned guns. Okay, she thought that would work. That experiment kind of failed. We can look at California. California has been one big experiment in sin and getting rid of the Constitution for years now, for over a decade. California has been the testing grounds for the far left. And then we've got New York. They're turning out elderly into the streets out of elderly nursing homes to make room to house illegal immigrants. They're getting away with it. Okay, they're also giving away billions of dollars that they don't have. So what are they doing? They're giving away our federal tax money to people trying to buy people and their support. So we see all that going on. These are test grounds all over the United States. But the worst problem we have right now is the open border. We got gangs in blue cities now fighting for turf. With the people, the drug dealers, the pimps, and all that stuff that have been controlling sections of blue cities. Well, now we've got immigrants moving in, controlled by the cartel, having open battle, open warfare in blue cities where people are getting shot every day. Basically, the people coming over the border, the cartel is into human trafficking and prostitution. Not only that, but gun running, and we've got that major drug problem, drugs that are killing people. And what's being done about it? Absolutely nothing. They're pushing the bounds again. Democrats are trying to make it sound like all this stuff is normal, and that's exactly what's supposed to happen. It's just, part of the open border policy. Just accept the drugs, accept the human trafficking, accept the prostitution, just accept the wars. It's just all part of the new American dream. That's how they're using this propaganda. Now, that just happens to be exactly what Revelation 17 talks about. It talks about the woman and how she's all arrayed and she's wearing red, scarlet to try to attract attention and making all these offers to people. Obviously, you can see prostitution in Revelation 17 when you go through it. The question is, did God see all of this coming? Well, it's times like this when we can see sections of prophecy that have been hidden for thousands of years, and we're just going to quick skip through Revelation 17 and look at one particular word that shows God saw all of these problems coming in from our southern border. So let's get right into it. We're going to take another quick look at Revelation chapter 17 and learn a few little lessons on how to conduct a Bible study. First off, I got all these words highlighted so we can quickly look at the repetition. Now, the first thing we wind up seeing is these orange words: prostitute, adultery, blasphemies against God, drunk, immortality, drunk, prostitutes, obscenities. What does this all remind us of? Basically, we're looking at the introduction, and it's pretty much explaining it's kind of hitting the open border and the problems we're seeing coming from the open border in 2023, to the letter. Prostitution, adultery, drunkenness, in other words, the drugs coming over, and some of the other details are pretty well hidden. What we also see is the world. You see hills, and we see, of course, this scarlet beast, scarlet, trying to attract attention. Scarlet beast again. So here we go. Something's calling our attention to this particular chapter. And one of the things I see is usually when we see patterns forming, like world is repeated twice here, and then actually world is the last word in this particular chapter, it would be to look up the word world. And we can take a quick look at the word world and see exactly what it means. We're going to have to click on over, and we know it appears as the last word. King James used the word earth, and if we click on here, we've got contracted from a primary word, soil, by extension, a region, or the solid part of the earth. Okay, one of the things that I kind of noticed on here that I want to cover is where was John taken to see this? So basically, I'm looking here for the word wilderness. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. Okay, let's take a look at this word wilderness real quick. Of uncertain affinity, loathsome, that is by implication waste. So it's usually translated desert, desolate, solitary wilderness. Okay, we got to ask the question. Let's just throw it out there for discussion. Was John taken to the U.S. southern border? I mean, it's pretty much describing it. But anyway, let's not get into too many details right now. But what we do is we see this repetition, and then at the very end, there's this word, and this woman you saw in your vision represents the great city that rules over the kings of the world. And we just saw that, the world is the solid part of the earth. Okay, this word city, after using all this repetition with world and hill and all this other stuff, all of a sudden the word city pops up. And this is listening to the Holy Spirit. When you see a change in repetition, that is only going to attract the sharpest minds, the minds that Jesus wants to flash a thing. And here we got, everybody's focused in on the scarlet beast. But let's take a look at one of the small details that just happens to be out of the ordinary on here. So we're going to take a look at this word city. And the King James uses the word city. It is 4172, probably from the same as 4171, or perhaps G4183. 4171 is just one word up, which means warfare, literally or figuratively, a single encounter or a series, and it is usually translated battle to fight a war. So, all of a sudden, this word city takes on a whole new meaning. In other words, we're going to see some confrontations. The woman that you saw is that great city. She is the confrontation that reigns over the kings of the earth. All right. There's one more word here. Once we click on this 4172 again, it's G4183, and all we got to do is kind of go down to G4183, And what we got here? We've got a word, polos. And when we read this is the strange thing, because it makes absolutely no sense. Including the forms of the alternative polis, singular, much in any respect, or plural, many, neuter, singular, as adverb, largely, neuter, as adverb, or noun, often, mostly, largely. Okay, and this dash means, okay, it was translated as abundant, blah, 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 a whole bit. But what does this word polis actually mean? Well, we're going to copy out this word and we're going to paste it into a search engine and take a look at this word on the internet in a dictionary and see what this word polis means. I think some people actually know it. So it won't be a surprise to them, but it's really a surprise when we take a look at what the Lord revealed in this Revelation 17, the prophecy. So here we are in dictionary.com, and we're going to take a look at the word polis. I guess it's polios. Polo. I don't know how you pronounce it. We can do the pronunciation, but I'm not going to click on that. Okay, number one, it means a chicken. And in slang in Mexico, a laborer who pays to be smuggled or guided over the border into the U.S. illegally. How did John know that when he was recording Revelation on paper? I mean, John never even heard of Mexico, but here we are in 2023 watching all this stuff go on, and we're getting this right from the word city used in the last sentence, the last verse in Revelation 17. Now, how did God do that? Anyway, don't forget to share, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to be doing kind of a word of the day on a couple of words that I found that just totally amazed me. Like, God knew they'd find cocaine in the White House. God knew a lot of things. We just have to find the right words and trace them through back to the Hebrew or Greek origin. And it's amazing the information that we find that we couldn't understand 5 years ago, but today in 2023, everything is becoming so evident. So, thank you for listening. Have a great day.